7 a.m. at Gaza port. Mohammed and Abdelkarim prepare to head out to sea. The night before, 6 Palestinian divers from Fatah were killed by the Israeli army. The Gazan fishermen are worried, but they have little choice. Fishing is their livelihood.
Even if I were the last Palestinian alive, I'd still go out to sea. We're dead in any case. Nobody cares about what happens to us. Not even Muslims or Arabs do. Really, nobody.
Since 2006, Israel has imposed a strict blockade on the Gaza Strip. It's enforced by land, but also by sea. An invisible wall lies out in the waters, so Mohammed and Abdelkarim don't stray too far from the shore. It's just long enough to drink a cup of tea. Their fishing zone is tiny, 6 kilometers maximum.
The good fishing's further out, but as soon as we get out there, the Israelis shoot at us. There are 2 Israeli destroyers that patrol the zone. Some fishermen sneak out towards Egypt, but that's suicidal. The last time fishermen were killed was when an Egyptian destroyer overturned a Gazan boat. There was 1 dead and 1 seriously injured.
Using an old wetsuit and a harpoon, the fishermen go beyond even what you would call traditional fishing. They free dive without oxygen in search of fish hidden between the rocks. It's a lot of effort for a meagre haul.
This here is a stripped bream. And this is another sea bream. 1 kilo sells for 50 or 60 shekels. This fish isn't sold in the people's markets in Muaskar or Jabalia. You have to sell it at the harbor where the rich buy it. The poor can't afford it.
Gaza's 3,500 fishermen know, like Mohammed, that soon there will be no fish left here. There's no fish either at TAHA market, but you can find everything else, even if you need your contacts. Fruit comes via the smuggling tunnels from Gaza to circumvent the blockade. Meat is a luxury. At $12 a kilo, it's reserved for special occasions.
A family would usually consume this amount of meat in one day, but this is going to last me the week.
Most of the 97 products currently cleared for entry into the Gaza Strip are foodstuffs, but things such as coriander and vinegar are forbidden, and most things are very expensive.
The crossings used to be open. We got everything we needed, sometimes more. Today, there's less stuff coming through, so the prices are double.
But the Gazans are getting by as they can in the face of the blockade. Electrical appliances are Chinese, and they come from Egypt. Fawaz doesn't sell much. He spends most of his days dusting down his stock.
The Israelis let nothing through, and they bomb the tunnels all the time. So we're scared, and we import only a little stock.
9 p.m. The Al GHUL family has just finished dinner. Mohsen is a taxi driver. He earns about $300 a month. His family is middle class. Alfat is in a hurry to wash the dishes before the nightly power cuts.
We're used to this life and we organise ourselves around the power cuts. When it comes back at 3 p.m, I wash, cook and get my household chores done before it's gone again. We used to buy large quantities of everything. Tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers, and they'd stay fresh. But now, with all the power cuts, nothing keeps. I can only buy things for 2 days at a time.
There's no time to serve tea. Tonight the electricity is cut earlier than expected. The Gazans are forced to live indoors in the dark because of the blockade. Mohsen is angry at Israel, but also at Hamas, Gaza's Islamist rulers. He says they are responsible for the situation.
God will judge those responsible for what we're going through, whoever they be. I say that without fear. I say to them, may you fear God's punishment for what you've done to the people. It's the people that suffer. They're comfortable in their offices. They eat, drink, and take their salaries home without a thought for us.
Ayman TAHA is a Hamas spokesman. His beard is cut short and he wears a Western suit. The Islamists want to soften their image, but his words are as unyielding as ever.
We don't need food. If we have to, we're ready to eat stones to create an independent Palestinian state. It's not a question of aid or reconstruction. We are an occupied people. We need a sovereign state to be the masters of our own borders.
Erez crossing on the border with Israel. It's the only entry from Gaza and heavily controlled by the Israeli military. Since the blockade started, a permit is required to go to Israel. The permits are issued in trickles.
Today I've had no fares, not even a single patient going to hospital.
The taxi drivers kill time as they can. Today the crossing is closed. Only the sick are allowed to cross the border. They have to take this tunnel 1.3 kilometers long before they arrive at the border post.
Workers used to cross, people going to Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. The situation was fine. Now Gaza is in prison because of the blockade. Nobody crosses, nobody except for the sick. And even then, you have to be really sick.
40 kilometers south, Rafah crossing on the Egyptian border. The crossing is open today, but that's not always the case. Here it is Hamas that controls the border.
The problem is we don't know how long the Rafah crossing will stay open, and that's why people are worried. Everything depends on Egypt, the opening of the crossing, how long it stays open, and even the number of travellers.
There's no heavy traffic today. Egypt has issued a few crossing permits. Priority goes to students and holders of foreign passports and the sick like Abdelmuti. He's going to Cairo for treatment for his heart condition, but he wants to go back to Gaza.
I'm Palestinian. I can't abandon my home. Palestine is our home, our blood, our life. So how could I abandon it? To leave it to whom? The enemy? No, I'd sooner die here.
Abdelmuti and the others have a long journey to Cairo ahead of them. They don't know when they'll get back home. Back in Gaza City, this hospital weathered the bombings of Operation Cast Lead, but not the blockade. Doctor Al Ghul does what he can to treat the seriously ill. Medical equipment is under embargo. The hospital relies on international aid. Fawaz has undergone heavy surgery on his throat. His son takes care of him.
If it weren't for the blockade, he'd have been discharged 3 months ago. But as it is, there's no equipment. He's stuck here. It really hits his morale hard, and it's really costly for the hospital.
If it weren't for the blockade, I would have been able to get my breathing apparatus from any NGO. We went looking for one, but they didn't have any.
Downstairs, just beside the emergency room, the hospital's laboratory was destroyed by Israeli bombings. Technicians work and handle blood amid dust and noise. Repair works advance very slowly. Construction materials arrive in piecemeal form from NGOs. Doctor Al Ghul is losing patience.
For every operation, a plan of action is needed. And I'm not joking, this is a hospital. You can't blockade everything. We're short of everything: stone, cement, iron, tiles, plumbing, and electrical equipment. The French government was able to help us out with cement and iron, but it took a lot of time. We didn't get everything. We're waiting for the rest to come next month.
Gaza's economy is demoralized. This is what remains of the industrial zone. It used to be functional, but now it resembles a scrapyard. Taysir walks over the rubble of his factory. These wealthy industrialists built Gaza's first cement plant. It was targeted by the first Israeli bombs in the Gaza offensive.
This factory was built and destroyed by Israelis. I am still in contact with some Israeli businessmen, people I've worked with for years. They all condemn what happened.
Taysir says he may have lost at least $10 million.
I can't estimate the value of my losses. This tire, for instance, cost 6,000 shekels alone. For 2 tires, it's up to $4,000. So what can I say?
Disheartened, Taysir barely has the strength to go on. 3/4 of the infrastructure destroyed in the Gaza offensive has still not been reconstructed, and the European Commission says the blockade has cost Gaza's economy €514 million.